everybody. We are here once again to do the phone call show, the show that scares me to death. Hold on. I got to get this other one shut off here. There we go. I got it. Okay. I'm watching this on two different monitors here so I can kind of halfway keep tabs on everything because on a show like this, I never know what moderators are going to show up and which ones ain't. So it's hard sometimes to keep tabs on everything. If you would like to call in and talk, here's the number at the bottom of your screen right there. Just call in. I got the phone here. Hopefully everything's set up correctly this time. Last time, we had kind of a glitch. I had to call WrestleMania to figure out what I was doing wrong. It was something simple. I forget what it was. I didn't have a volume knob turned up or something. But I think I got everything set okay.
Now get out.
I think so. By the way, cheers. A Coke in a bottle. It tastes good. So, I'm watching the chat over here. Where's it at? There it is. KM. Oh, you guys are talking to each other. I really get you. Port sitting live. Oh, you're always working, Laura. Sounding good. Okay. Is it loud enough? I haven't done WNL for a while, and I'm not sure 100% how I had everything set. In here, it sounds okay. But sometimes I got these things turned up too loud when the modulation is actually turned down too low. So it's hard to, once I get it set, I generally don't mess with it. But like I said, I haven't done WNL for a while. And so things got moved around. Coke in a glass of the bottle is always better than plastic. I think so. That's just my opinion. I like beer in a glass. I can drink beer and I will drink. Hold on. We got a phone call already. You're live.
Skip.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
How you doing?
Fine, thank you. Tell me, the other day you were speaking on porch setting, to listen closely, and you were speaking about your likes of the this Kennedy fella of the younger the clan that's coming in. And I've been watching some of the things, being that you said that, and I don't know if you're speaking of the same one, but Robert Jr. is speaking of a peaceful revolution. What's your take on that?
I don't watch all the news when it comes to politics because they all take their own sides. News isn't news anymore. You know that since Walter Cronkite. But I do watch him on Twitter. I don't watch CBS. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch Fox. And if I do go to those channels for real quick, I just watch real quick to see which way they're slanting today. And then I just move on. Well, I do go to Twitter a lot. And he's got some things on there that I listen to. And the thing about politicians is what really the thing that irks me is sometimes politicians will say something straight out, and then you have to interpret what is it he's actually saying because they never seem like they speak straight. And so I don't know that particular thing you're speaking of. I just like the Kennedys. I've always liked the Kennedys and what they stood for and what they did. Am I saying they're perfect in every way? Absolutely not. But I think that in its time and in its day, they were on track. They all had their problems too. And this guy coming up, when I see the two that's at the top runnings today, I listen to them and both of their rhetorics. One's not better than the other. And then I listened to the boy Kennedy talking, and he just seems to me like he could be an option. Am I going to vote for him? I don't know yet. It's going to be a long while of listening to everybody and kind of, thinking about it. But he just seems like he could be a pretty good option.
Well, my take on the whole thing was not so much a Kennedy as a political option, but the thing of being a peaceful revolution. And in my take on something like that, I don't think that the next revolution, other than what we see with these school shootings and all these crazy gun battles that we have in everywhere in churches and and shopping centers and all that. But what about what they're going to do to us on the computers?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, as far as ANI, this artificial intelligence that's going to start taking over everything, you know it as good as I do.
I tell you what, actually, it kind of makes me nervous. You know, people right now are being scammed all the time out of money, especially down here in the older area because of everything that goes on. I myself, and I'm generally kind of pretty good about some of this stuff, and I got hacked because of a mistake that I made, and I admitted it on my channel. To beware, watch what you do, and I goofed. I didn't do what I said to do, and I goofed, and my YouTube channel got hacked. And we had a problem. We got a problem there for a while, but we got
to be honest with you. I don't pay anything else. There's nothing that goes out of my payment that doesn't go on a written check.
Well, this had nothing to do with payments. My YouTube channel got hacked. They didn't steal bank accounts. They didn't steal any of that. But when they take your channel and they take control of it, it was people from Ukraine. And they were putting things on there about selling Bitcoins and investing in Bitcoins and give me a call. And they're using my channel to do this. Yeah. And so with all the subscribers I got, they're all getting it. And I don't know how many subscribers, once they started seeing that, did they unsubscribe? I don't know. But I will tell you that once they hack your channel, they can probably get into your Google account, which I have. And there's things in there that I don't need them to get a hold of. So real quick, when I got a hold of WrestleMania, we went in and we blocked all that. So that was out of the way. And then it was just a slow manner of getting control of the channel back, which I did. But as you saw, if you watched my stuff, there was a lot of old videos coming up as if it was a new video. And that was because of the hack. And there was nothing I could do about that.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I lost my credit card, and I haven't even reported it because whoever's got it's only spending half of what I was. So it's a bargain all the way around. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the thing about AI, getting back to that disturbs me is the fact of how they can steal your look. They can steal your voice exactly. I mean, I've seen the examples. You saw them on TV. They showed examples of it. And it scares me thinking that somebody's going to call somebody on the phone and say, Grandpa just had a wreck and we need $500 for the ambulance. Who's going to fall for it?
I know. Hey, go give Sue a big hug. This show is great, man. Dynamite.
Well, I enjoy doing it. I've always been kind of leery of doing it, but hey, as long as you guys watch, as long as you keep calling in, and if you enjoy it, I'll probably keep doing it. I don't know if I'll do it on a regular basis or just kind of at a whim. You notice news was yesterday, and so I'm thinking Saturday right after news might be a good time to do it. If people have got some questions about what was on the news or whatever. We tried the after news segment. That didn't really work out all that well, but yeah, I'm glad you watched. I'm glad you called.
Hey, if it happens in the villages, Skip's got his thumb on
it. Hey, everything happens here.
See you, brother.
All right, man. Thanks for calling. I see my old buddy Ronald Pass is in Dallas, Texas. Hey, Ron, I just got a photo sent to me from my cousin down at Rockport, Texas, and they are seeking shelter right now. He had a picture of a tornado heading for him. So Texas has been hit pretty hard this year all around with all kinds of problems. I think it's Azteca. Is that how you pronounce that? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's AI could be a problem. I mean, as far as scamming people, and I don't know if they think about, it's one thing to come up with something like AI, but I wonder if they ever think about, well, now, can we do anything to stop these problems that AI could bring up? I don't know if they ever do that, or if they just decide to come out with some technology and then let us deal with all the problems later, just like cell phones. I thought cell phones when they first came out was a great idea because cell phone numbers by law were completely private numbers. Nobody could use your number. And then something somewhere got changed. I don't know how it got changed, where now all of a sudden on your cell phone, everybody's getting scam phone calls and scam emails and scam everything. And when you talk to Verizon or anybody else, all they tell you is there's nothing they can do about it. It's just disgusting. Cheerleader for love. Hey, Skip, how you doing? Hey, cheerleader, how you doing? Anybody see that phone number at the bottom there? Call. That's what this show's about. Call in and give me your opinion on whatever. Things you like, things you don't like. Now's your chance. Jerry Bell. Let's see, Jerry. Oh, over here. Yeah, it's funny, Jerry, that on the YouTube chat, your wrench is on there, but on the StreamYard chat, it's not. It just shows that you're a YouTube member, but it doesn't show that you're a hatchet man. Jerry's the guy that can put you in YouTube jail if he wants to. He's one of them. So don't make him mad. Bill says, any thoughts on some of the people who have been in the villages for a while and about the size of it is growing and where it's headed? Well, you're talking to me, I think. Listen, things in life grows. I know it does. And they say you have to grow or you're dead. In business, that's a saying. Either your business grows or you're dead. So, I understand the growth, all the way around. I mean, our whole country is about money. If you don't think it is, then you're living in la-la land somewhere. Everything that's being done in this world is all about money. So the Wildwood commissioners approve all these buildings of everything because it's good money for Wildwood. City taxes, street taxes, all that kind of stuff. And then they can turn Wildwood into something it's never been. Wildwood's always been a downgraded community. I mean, I was at Wildwood once back in the 80s when drunks and druggies were all around town because of that train station down there. And today it's changed a lot, and it's going to continue to change. It was announced, I think, a few days ago, they're going to start tearing buildings down on Wildwood and building new buildings for something. So things change, things get bigger, things, and right now Florida is the fastest growing state in the United States. More people coming here than anywhere. Now you can, guess on why or why not. I don't know, but it is. So I don't like the idea of villages being this big. It's just not my thought of what a retirement community is all about. And, when it gets to be to a certain point, I've always said, how do you age restrict a city? So far, they're doing it somewhat, not all, but somewhat. And I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I mean, I like it here. I like the concept here. I like what they do here. I do. And I like the neatness of it and all that goes along with it. You've heard that 100 times from 100 different people. The size of it, though, that's a part of it that kind of weighs on me that I don't know if I like it or not. I don't like large crowds. I never did. I don't like going to football games because there's 100,000 people there. I don't like going to Disney World because you got to fight the crowds. That's just me. That's just me. If you come from New York City and coming down here, to you, this would be nothing. But if you come from a town of a few tens of thousands, 20,000, 30, 40,000 people, mostly farmers and whatever, then to me, this is a lot. So anyway, it's just like the closest of the houses. If you come from the country area where there's an acre between you and your neighbor, which is a lot of Midwest, you come down here, the closeness of the houses is going to bother you until you get used to it. So same with traffic. By the way, let me just say, I don't know if you're watching or not. Somebody sent me an email saying they wish I'd quit downtrodden snowbirds or down something, bad mouthing. I never bad mouth a snowbird. You have never, ever heard me say anything bad about snowbirds. You just hear what you want to hear, and that's what you hear. You just interpret things. All I've ever said was I talk about things during snowbird season and after snowbird season. That's not saying anything bad or good about it. That's just a fact. It's snowbird season or it ain't. Somebody said, which season do I like best? Well, I like it in the summer and early fall because the snowbirds are basically gone and it's a lot quieter here. Traffic's not near as bad, even though it's almost getting to the point now where it's hard to determine sometimes what's snowbird season and what ain't. It's just always traffic anymore. A lot of people coming down, looking to buy. A lot of visitors in the summer. The kids are out of school. They come down to visit grandma and grandpa. There's a lot more of them now. So yeah, it's just getting big and it's getting busy. I don't care for it. I wish they would have stopped at Lake Sumter and just had the two squares. And then if they wanted to go and start a villages number 2, I would be open for that idea. But to blend us all together like this, I don't know. It bothers me, but it don't bother me, if you know what I mean. Yes, and he shows his moderator on YouTube. That's not what I'm talking about. I got him on my YouTube. I said, but on StreamYard, it doesn't show him as a moderator. StreamYard don't copy those things over here. See, you are over here. I am over here. Call in. Phone number's at the bottom, 352-9135-366. Give us a call if you got something to say about anything. Otherwise, I'll just ramble on here for a little while and then we'll call it a day. Find joy every day. Old videos. I don't know what old videos I got. Golly. I don't even know how many anymore. 1,600 to 1,700. Out of all those, I don't know which ones are all public. I would say at least 90% of them are public. Some of them are private, and some of them, some of them I just set them aside. Hot job. Nah, hot job. Somebody sent me a box of Red Hot Riplets. They said it was the same thing. It's not the same thing. I think the Red Hot Riplets I got don't even know what company it was that had them. But they was in a red and white bag and whatever. And then one day it just didn't have them anymore. They just done away with it. They just quit making them. And so the Red Hot Riplets that somebody sent me here a while back, by the way, which I appreciate, I do appreciate. I did eat them, but just not the same thing at all. They had more of a sweeter, hot taste. And the Red Hot Riplets that I remember, first of all, they were ripples. They were the big ripples, not the small. I don't even know how to describe it. So, don't waste your time. I think a Red Hot Riplets that I'm looking for is long gone, like everything else. As Art Bell would say, east of the Rockies, hello.
Did I get you, Skip? Or
yeah.
How you doing? My name is Mike Simpson. We watch your channel all the time and appreciate the content you put out and everything. But my wife had a couple questions she wanted me to ask. We're coming back down for our second lifestyle visit in July, and she wanted to know: do they have a way of regulating the 80-20 as far as young people being in the villages? And the second thing that she wanted to know is we got a small dog, like a Cavapoo, and her understanding was that you could take him most places. Now, like outdoor restaurants, and are there paths that you can walk and walk your dog on the paths, or are they restricted on all paths down there?
You mean on the golf cart paths?
No, a walking path. Like, could you take your dog for a walk with you? On the paths, or is that restricted?
As far as I know, they're not restricted, but now they don't have walking paths here where I'm at. The walking paths you're talking about are down by the Finney area. And I don't know the 100% of the rules down there. You'll have to check down there, but I've been down there. And as far as I know, and I can't swear to all this because, like I say, I don't live down there, I don't know of any restrictions down there. But if anybody down there is watching this, I'm sure they can call in and let us know. As far as outside restaurants go and taking your pets, as far as I know here anyway, all the country clubs that I've been to, like Evans Prairie, Bonifay, Belle Glade, you name them, they're all basically designed the same. That there's an outside entrance to get to the outside seating. But in most cases, though, as stupid as this may sound, you got to go inside to let them know you're there. And then if you tell them you got your dog and you want to sit outside, then I think you have to go outside, get your dog, walk around the building to the outside entrance. It's not that far, by the way. Yeah, I don't think they let you walk through the restaurant with your pet. I could be wrong about that. I think some people do, I just don't think it's appreciated when you do. But I've seen a lot of people sitting outside with their pets. I mean, some have restaurant rules saying your pet can't be in a seat. Like if you're if you're in a booth, they don't want it up in the seat. You have to have their dog under the table or something. But I've seen a lot of pets go to the outside restaurants. Nobody seems to have a problem with it.
Well, that's great because when we come down in July, we'd like kind of restrict us. We had to keep coming back to the house to you know, monitor the pet and feed him and so forth. If he can go with us a lot of places, that'd be great. And like I said, the other question is do they have a monitoring system for the 80-20 rule? My wife's worried that, at some point in time, along with young people, tend to come problems, with the drinking and things of that nature.
Well, the 80-20 rule, let me back up a minute or two and explain exactly what the 80-20 rule actually is. But I've made comments saying it's been twisted out of shape so bad that I don't think the people down here even know what it is anymore. The 80, because see, at 48, I was told I could not buy a house here when I tried to buy one. They said I was too young, and that was the end of it. Today, it seems like as long as you got a bank account and you're over 19, they don't care. But to start it out, that the 80-20 rule originally was set up to where, let's say you're 65 years old and you married a younger woman. Let's say she's 45, 20 years younger than you, and you move down here. You pass away when you move down here. That 20% allowed your younger wife that would be under 55 to continue to stay here because she's one of the owners of the house. Well, today now they've got it twisted out of shape so bad they say that 20% of the population can be under the age of 55, and that's not what the rule says at all. But they seem to be getting by with it. And how do they monitor it? My only guess would be is a census. They come around. I don't know how often they come around. They came to my house like 2 years ago to ask simple things, like how old are you, how many people live here, such stuff like that. And then on top of that, another way to kind of hedge their bets on that 80-20 so-called rule is they build these family parks here that are basically zoned separate from the villages. Even though they're in the villages, they're zoned separate from the villages. And so I don't even think the population is even considered as part of the villages.
Even though they can still use all aspects of the villages, once like Middleton gets built and so forth, they'd have access to the whole of the villages, correct?
Well, supposedly no. Supposedly they're not supposed to have total access to. They got a few things in their area, like they have their own area, swimming pool, things like that. But how they're monitoring all that or what they're doing, because you got to remember 25 years ago, whatever the rules was up, say in CDD 8, and then they're building these things down here at CDD 15. 15 may be totally different as far as rules go than CDD 8. And it's hard to keep up with all that stuff.
Right. Well, Skip, thank you for taking our call, and we do appreciate the things you put out. And hopefully we see you when we come in there, and tell Sue we said hello.
Oh, I will. She's out there watching something. I don't know what she's watching. Some kind of a girly show, I'm sure.
All right, you take care.
All right, man. Give me a call when you get down here.
All right, we'll do.
See you, man.
Bye.
Thanks for calling. That's a problem with some of these rules down here. They change from one area to just like now, the big argument here, I don't know if it's on the news or not. If not, it'll be next week. They're trying to get all these different districts to join in on this golf cart path commission where they want to, what they're trying to do is push their agenda up there everywhere through the villages in the name of safety. I've been through all that safety crap with UPS, and I know how that works, and it's just, I don't like it. They're going to try to push having center stripes through the whole villages. Then they'll push, speed bumps everywhere. Thanks for calling. Hello. Well, I can't hear you.
Hello, Skip.
Yep, go ahead.
Hey, my name is Doreen,
Hi, Doreen.
and Bill and I here live in Bellevue, and we enjoy seeing your, especially your porch sitting.
Oh, thanks.
Watching you now, of course, and also enjoy your news.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for watching.
Got a couple of things for you.
Mhm.
A while ago, you mentioned, I think, the entertainment that is coming to, I think, the Sharon, and you mentioned the group Kansas, and you said you didn't know who they were.
Well, that was on, yeah, when would you do that? On porch sitting or something? Yeah, somebody said something
Yeah.
about Kansas, and I said, yeah, I didn't know who they were, no.
Well, if you ever heard the song "Dust in the Wind,"
Yes, I have.
well, that's them.
I'll be darned. See, I told Sue, I said, see, if I heard one of their songs, then I'd know who it was.
Okay. And then we got a place for you to go to eat.
It's what?
I said we have a place for you to maybe go and try to eat.
Where's that?
It's called Pudgy's, and it's spelled Pudgees.
Okay.
And they're in Frill City. And you would take 44 West to Highway 41, go south, and it'll be then on your right-hand side. They have hamburgers and all kinds of hot dogs and Italian beef sandwiches and everything's homemade. Onion rings, and I think they make milkshakes, and it's really good, and it's family owned, and it's very tasty.
Is that very close to Ramshackles?
Ramshackle? No, you're talking. That's going towards Leesburg.
Yeah. So you're not that far
this
in.
is over going towards, like, if you want to go towards Inverness,
Yeah.
right? But instead of going up right to Inverness, you're going to go south towards Kroll City.
Is that very close to Oakwood Fire and Grill?
No, you're still too far over.
Oh, okay.
Look it up on the website.
Yeah, I'll have to Google it. I don't know. Sue may have been there. She's the one who used to go out with Deb all the time at all these different restaurants.
They're pretty far away from the villages, so I don't know if they would have ventured all the way over there.
Oh, are you kidding
I
me?
think-
They went to restaurants in Orlando.
Oh yeah, that would be too far. Yeah, but okay. Well,
Hey, let me ask you. How long have you lived in Florida?
Been going on 17 years now.
You've been here watching the villages grow, ain't you?
Yeah. But we're happy here in Bellevue. We have our nice quarter to third acre lot, and we won't move to the villages. Too many, too close together, and too many fees.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts of the villages and Wildwood and all this building going on?
I kind of do feel bad for the people that were,
Yeah.
originally there. It does seem like it's getting too big. I do notice it when I go to the Publix on 42 in Mulberry, and that gets a little more crowded at times. But we don't really come into the villages much anymore. Kind of been there, done that.
Yeah. Well, I can see both sides of it. As we in Indiana, I bought a house in a place called Brownsburg, Indiana, which is about 10 miles west of Indianapolis when I got transferred to UPS in Indianapolis. I never wanted to live in a big city because of all the problems that you have in a big city. And so we bought a house in Brownsburg, which was basically a farming community. It was nothing to go to we had 2 gas stations in town. And it was nothing to go to the one gas station and find farmers' tractors sitting next to the pump, and they're filling up their tractors right there. They don't, drive out in the fields and do it. And then all of a sudden, somebody discovered it, kind of like the villages here. And then next thing you know, there's $1 million houses being built, Cracker Barrels coming in, all this stuff. And I just felt like that I had this town now that was building around me. And I lived out in the country at that time.
Right.
And I kind of sympathize with the locals here that's been here forever. And
Yeah.
it's orange groves and cattle fields and all that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden the villages now is like kind of forcing them out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're originally we grew up in a big city. We're back from Philadelphia originally.
Oh. Do you like it here?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
What do you like the most about it?
No snow.
Yeah, I think everybody agrees on that.
Right. And I guess it gets hot in the summer, but yeah, we were feeling the cold before. Originally moved down here, and then because my daughter wanted to get a horse, and it was a little expensive up in Montgomery County to get her a horse. So we moved down here. 6 months later, we got her a horse, and she still has her horse. He's 19 years old, and his name is Mikey. But now Mikey has been moved up to Massachusetts, where she lives.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I've always liked talking to the people that's been here for a while to find out the outside people. That's what they call you guys. You're the outsider.
That's right.
Is how the outside people feel about it. Some like it, some don't. I always sympathized on both sides of that fence because I've been on both sides of that fence.
All right. Well, great talking to you.
Okay, I appreciate you calling.
Okay. Have a good evening.
You too. Thanks for
Okay,
watching.
Bye.
Got a question here. It says, Bill says, will schools being built in villages property affect taxes for people who don't have kids? Well, yeah, it's just like anywhere else you go. Part of your property taxes would be school taxes. And so just like anywhere else, when they build schools and whatever, it'll affect our property taxes, and everybody in Sumter County will be paying this school tax. That's where it was in Indianapolis when I lived in Brownsburg, which was Hendricks County. I paid school taxes. I didn't have any kids. See, I know what you're thinking. Well, it's a retirement community. Why would there be a school tax in a retirement community? That's just the way it is. I think that's the way it is anywhere. KM says, no New Yorkers put themselves in the news. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know what was on the news this week. I cut it, edit it. I watch it like 3 or 4 times to make sure I didn't make a huge mistake in there somewhere. And then I schedule it, and then I move on to something else. And I'm not 100% sure what was even in there. So there might have been some New Yorkers in there or not. I don't know. But if there wasn't, be patient. I'm sure there will be on the next one. I shouldn't say that because I get comments all the time saying, why do I pick on New Yorkers? I don't pick on anybody. I just read the news to you. And I give credit to the villages.com news.com. That's who cuts the news. That's where I get 85% of my news, and the pictures is from there. And I'm promoting them. So, if you want to get that news earlier than what I give it to you, if you go to thevillagesnews.com, you can sign up for, I think it's like $25 a year. You have to go check. And you'll get that news probably a week earlier than what I'm giving it to you. Because by the time I cut it, edit it, and all this kind of stuff, when you got what you get in 1 half hour, that's a whole week's worth of news here. And I go through the news and I try to pick out things that I think is pertinent to the villages. And there's a lot of other stuff on there I don't report because I don't think it has anything to do with the villages all that much. And so I don't talk about it. So if you want to get that, I promote, go there, pay the $25, and then you can get it. Otherwise, watch my news. As long as you keep watching it, I'll keep doing it. Matter of fact, let me look and see what the rating is on that one. I usually keep an eye on that. I go into YouTube's settings and see where I'm at. Villages News 519023. Right now, that video is ranked as number 4 out of 10. It should be more like 1 or 2 out of 10, but it's 4. So the views are kind of not the greatest, but they're there. Hello.
Hey, Skip.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, this is Kevin from the fort.
How you doing?
Okay, I got a couple questions for you.
I'll see if I can answer them.
Okay. My first one, I finally talked my wife into going to do a visit there in villages next year. To do a visit there in villages next year. And anyways, I was wondering because my brother lives in Lakeland, would he be able to come visit us? And then I was wondering because my brother could we pay to use the golf courses? Would he be able to come visit us? And then
You're going to have to turn your TV off in the background.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that way you don't get that echo effect. Now, say that again about paying to play.
Okay, yeah, my brother lives in Lakeland, and he'll want to come up to visit us. I know they give us 2 free passes, but my wife will use those. So could we go to the executive courses and play those? Are they open to the public?
Not the executives, no. Country clubs are.
The championship.
Yes.
Okay.
The only way he could play an executive course is if he had got a visitor's pass. Now, when you come down, you'll get somebody will be assigned to you, one of the realtors there, and ask him if you can get a visitor's pass for your brother or whatever, and see what he tells you. Because I don't know the answer to that. If you can get a visitor's pass, then yeah, he can come down and he can play with you on an executive course.
Okay. And then my second question is, when are you going to come up to the fort?
Fort Wayne, well, we were talking about that the other day. I'm just kind of perplexed on whether to drive the motorhome up there because I really like traveling in that, or just leave it here and just drive the car up there and hotel it. I'm not a big hotel fan. I mean, I've done a lot of it. Some are great, some are not. So I don't know yet, but we're coming up there. We'll be up there sometime this summer. I guarantee it.
Okay, well, you let me know and we'll do a meet and greet.
You live out in Fort Wayne, right?
Huh? I
said, you live in Fort Wayne, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. Basically on my mom's side, from Van Buren all the way up to Bluffton, all the way up to, I'm trying to think of some of them little towns up there. Ocean is where my grandson lives. And there's another town in Fort Wayne, like a suburb of Fort Wayne. I can't think of the name of that. Huh?
New Haven.
No. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, my mother grew up there. And then I also, years ago, when I worked for Zellerback, I used to deliver packaging materials to somewhere up in that area to an Amish furniture store factory. Big one. Bernie. No, Bernie? No. Burns. Yeah. There's a big Amish factory there.
Yeah. That's where they make Smith Brothers furniture.
Okay. That's where, I don't know what it is now, but that's where I used to go. I used to go up there and deliver all kinds of packaging material for them people. So I know the area a little bit. Also downtown Fort Wayne, every time I go down there, I like to go down to this kind of off the wall. It's nothing fancy at all, but it's a place to go downtown and get a hot dog and a Coke. And it seems like all the
yeah, Coney Island.
Yeah, you know where I'm talking about. That's where Jay Leno and everybody goes.
Yeah.
And it's not
recognized downtown Fort Wayne.
Oh, I bet it's not, but it's a lot nicer than what it used to be.
Well, they're redoing all along the riverfront. They're making it to a public area, parks and pavilions and bars and stuff like that.
Is Johnny Appleseed's RV park still there?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Right next to where I played softball.
Okay, because that's if I go up there and spend any time in the camper, I have to get reservations, which I don't know that I am. That's where I'm planning on staying.
That's only about a mile and a half from me.
Well, what I like about it, it's in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not very far down the road. You got the shopping mall. You got 101 restaurants. Everything's right there.
Yep. I'll have to show you some of my favorite ones.
What restaurants?
Well, dives, restaurants, bars.
Dives?
I said dives.
Oh, I was gonna say I like dives.
Yeah, I don't go to a lot of the corporate places. I like the private ones.
Yeah. I don't go to a lot of corporate places either unless it's fast food, like, maybe a Wendy's if I'm traveling, you just kind of get your stuff and keep going. Um, as far as corporate restaurants go, if I had to pick a favorite one down here, it'd have to be Olive Garden because I go there pretty regular. But other than that, corporate restaurants. Oh, we did open a fairly new one down here recently. One of them I like is Dairy Queen. I guess you could consider that a restaurant. And then another one was Culver's. We have a Culver's down here now.
Well, we got both those, but most people like Zestos instead of Dairy Queen.
Oh, I like Dairy Queen. I've liked it I've liked it probably longer than what Dairy Queen's even been around. I like it a lot. There's something about their ice cream, man. It's whipped or something. I don't know, but I mean, we've got Ritter's, we've got all these other places. And I got nothing against none of them, but when it comes, I really like Dairy Queen.
Well, if you stay at the campground there, Johnny Appleseed, you go down about 6 traffic lights and you'll be at a Dairy Queen.
Oh, they got everything around there.
Yeah.
They got a nice steakhouse not too far down the road. I don't know if it's still there or not. It might have been sold out. I don't know. But oh golly, I can't even think of all the things down. What is it called? The Coliseum Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all up and down that road right there. Matter of fact, on Coliseum Boulevard, when you get down to where the old truck stop's at, if you was to turn left right there, instead of right to head to 69, turn left and go down maybe the city block, there's a Ryder truck rental place there on the left. I worked in there for like 5 years.
Yeah, I used to, when I was moving furniture for a friend, we used to rent their trucks all the time.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat place. I mean, the guys in there, when I worked there, they knew what they were doing. There used to be a Frisch's Big Boy too, catty corner across the street, but it went out of business, I think, with all the other ones.
Well, yeah, you'd have to go to Coldwater, Michigan to go to a Big Boy.
Not necessarily. You can go down to, it's in Kentucky. I've stopped there. I've done video right there. Frisch's, even the name, Frisch's Big Boy at, golly, that exit in Kentucky where Toyota factory's at. What's the name of that exit? Anyway, off of I-75, there's a Frisch's Big Boy.
Well, those are my 2 questions. So hopefully I'll get to see you this summer.
Okay. And you're coming down, you say in July?
No, we're coming down next May.
Oh, next May. Okay. That was the other person. Okay. Next May. Yeah. May's not too bad. It'll still be probably 80s to 90 in May.
Well, that's what I told her, that, it might be in the 90s. She said, well, that's too hot for golf. She says, can we use the pools? And I said, yes. So,
Well,
I'll be there.
Are you going to be here the first part of May or the last part of May?
Right around the 15th, week of the 15th.
Well, that can be up and down. You could, May's one of them months like October is in Indiana. It could be chilly one day and hot the next.
Well, okay. Well, thanks for answering my questions.
Okay, man. Call anytime.
Okay.
Appreciate it,
Bye
Bob.
now.
Bye. That guy's been following me for a long time out of Fort Wayne up there. I just haven't been up in Fort Wayne for a couple of years. I'll get up there. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get up there this year. I think my grandson's on here. He changed the name of this thing to The Bros. That's supposed to be cool. The Bros. You coming down this year? I don't know if you are or not. Your dad was telling me something about coming down here. I've heard that before. KM. We don't care if New Yorkers and California people move in. Just keep your ways in your old state. That's why you're leaving. I can't say I disagree. Hello.
Hey, Skip.
What's going on, buddy?
It's a hot job.
How you doing, hot job?
I'm doing good.
How's that fire department working?
It's working. I wish I wasn't.
Oh. Do you work there full time?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were like a volunteer or something.
No, full time. 27 years.
Yeah. When are you guys going to let me do a live interview with you guys?
I'd have to get that approved from somebody higher up than me.
You know, that's kind of funny about how that works, I guess, because I've talked to a lot of people live on other things that I do at other fire stations, and they've never had to do that.
Yeah, well, we're maybe a little different here.
Do you guys have government secrets?
I don't think so. I don't think they trust them to me.
Maybe you do and don't even know it.
That's possible. That is possible.
So what's going on with you?
No, I had a question.
Oh.
Coming down in October, November, December, and wanted to know what you've heard about this Middleton area. I thought I ran across a video and I can't find it again, where they said that those people living in the unage restricted area are going to have access to the rest of the villages. Now, they won't have access to the amenities, but they'll be able to get on the golf cart paths and all that and travel and go to the grocery stores and things. Have you heard that?
Well, that might be true. It's awful hard to restrict anybody from our golf cart paths, even people that don't even live here. You know, I've tried to make people aware of that. I've actually videoed people driving golf carts across the 466A over here to go over to apartment houses built over there at Trailwinds, which is not even part of the villages whatsoever.
Oh.
But they're crossing with golf carts right there, which is against the law, but they do it anyway. So the idea of somebody sneaking in here on golf carts from some of these family parks doesn't surprise me a bit at all. Are they supposed to? Hold on a minute. I'm going to yell at the old lady. She kind of keeps up on that stuff, and I don't. So don't go nowhere.
All right.
Sue! This is how we communicate. Here she's coming. She's mad at me.
Oh, don't blame me.
Got a guy, he's asking me, he said down there at Middleton where the family parks are, he's wanting to know if they have full golf cart access to the rest of the villages. I told him, I said, probably will, but I don't really know.
The way I understood it is they didn't.
Well, they're not supposed to have,
Yeah, they're not supposed to have.
but you know,
I would call a realtor, one of the village's realtors. They should be able to tell you that.
yeah. This is a hot job.
Oh, okay.
I see.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't.
He says, hey.
Oh, hey.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think they do have, because somebody told me they didn't have connected amenities. Golf cart trails, I don't know.
Yeah, but they don't have access to our amenities. Like,
No, they have their own,
but the golf cart trails could be a whole different
yeah,
thing.
it could be.
So they would
Okay.
be able to go to Sawgrass and things like that if they wanted, if they could get on the golf cart.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, and it happens. It just happens, and you know, and the problem of it is nobody monitors the golf cart trails. So it isn't like we got a golf cart trail police around here. It just doesn't happen. They keep saying, well, you can't do this and you can't do that. Well, then just ask them. You know, if I see it happening, who enforces that rule?
Yeah. Well, you know, it ain't Mr. Rohan.
No,
Anything from him.
he does whatever they tell him to do, you know, and I guess that's what a good employee does. If they say jump, you say, well, where at, you know. So, and that's what he does.
Well, perfect. Well, I'm looking forward to being back down there in October, so maybe I'll.
You say you're coming down for 3 months?
Yeah.
And you work full time?
Yeah.
How do you get 3 months off work?
vacation days, and then we're allowed to trade days with other guys. So I'll work a lot this summer for some younger guys, and then they'll work in
Oh,
the fall for me. So
I never had one of them jobs. Sue's whole family retired from state prisons, and I guess state prisons has that thing where you can work overtime, and you can either take the time and a half, let's say. You
yeah,
can either take the halftime and pay or take the halftime as vacation time.
Yep.
And she at one time had something like, I swear to God, like 6 months of
Oh, wow.
vacation time saved up.
Yep.
So I asked her,
Yeah.
so what are you going to do with it? And she said, well, when I get within retirement age, I'll probably just take the first 6 months off while it's vacation time and then retire.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. I've never had one of those jobs because I could see me doing that.
Yeah, it takes a little planning. Last year we were able to do 2 months, and the year before a month, and now my mother-in-law moved down there
Oh, did she?
in February. Yeah, came down for 3 days and bought a house, and then went home and came back a month later and moved in. Yeah, she was just coming down to look.
Yeah, they all say that.
Uh-huh. So
Is that where you're staying?
what's that?
Is that where you're going to stay?
No, we rented a house.
Do you know what village?
Yes, we're gonna be in St. John's.
Oh, I know where that is. That's not too far down the road from where I'm at.
Yeah, I found a fabulous deal the guy was offering for 3 months, and I couldn't pass it up. So
Yeah, you'll find them deals if you look.
yeah,
Especially if it's on the off season, it's pretty easy to find them.
yeah, she's in her mom's in, oh crud, the one down past Sawgrass when you go through the gates past Sawgrass. Can't think of the name of it.
Mhm.
But so yeah, we'll be close down there, and hopefully, you never know, I might buy too. We'll see.
Well, I got to tell you, it's all, everybody's different, I suppose, but I've talked to so many people and you've heard the same stuff from everybody else. They come down to look and next thing you know, they bought.
Yep.
So I think right now what the big thing is with interest rates, especially if you're going to finance it, now, do you wait? I don't know. I don't have no idea, what can I tell you? I don't know.
Yeah, it's when we find the right house, we'll figure it out. But I know my mother-in-law did. We referred her to Ira from your recommendations and having him
Yeah.
on there, and we were happy with that.
Oh, good. I'm glad Ira could help.
Yep. Yep, it was a good experience.
Yeah, Ira's a good guy.
Yep.
He's just hard to get a hold of sometimes because he has all these people that work for him.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah. Yep. So, well, you enjoy your evening, and I'll look you up when I get down there. Maybe.
All right, man. Yeah, just
Yeah.
give me a call and I'll meet you somewhere and have a beer and we can talk about that nasty fire department that won't give me access to interview people.
All right. Thanks, Skip. Tell Sue good night too.
Tell everybody at the fire department I said hi.
All right. Thanks.
See you, man. Hey, I wanted to show you guys something too. Linda got me on this. She said she was ordering something on the internet, some company she goes to on the internet. She's ordering something. And she saw these coffee cups on there. And she said, I don't know why. She said, but when I saw this cup, she said, I thought of you. So she sent me a picture of it. I got such a laugh out of it. I ordered, there's some of them, you see them back here, right there. The one there is broke. The handle's broke off of it. I've already contacted the company. They're going to send me a replacement. I'm probably going to give them away eventually. I don't know if you guys be able to read this or not. Let me see. Can you read that? I get the biggest kick out of that. Because that's got me written all over it. Okay. Okay. No more phone calls. Anybody? What is this? Cindy says, when it's next Patreon lunch, I'm still holding out at a lower Patreon level. It's okay. I don't mind Patreon levels. What is my lowest Patreon? I think it's $2, ain't it, for Patreon? Yeah, I think it's $2 a month to be a Patreon member. And there's a few things on Patreon that you'll get that other people don't get. One is the videos I put on Patreon is all commercial free. I'm not going to charge you $2 a month and then make you watch a damn commercial. I'm not that greedy. And then the other one was Patreon lunches. Well, we call them Patreon lunches. Actually, I need to change that to members only lunch or something like that, because we have a significant amount of YouTube members. And so we invite everybody that's a member, YouTube members, Patreon members. We send them all an email that nobody else gets, where our lunch is going to be, what time, and all that kind of thing. And anybody can just show up. The only thing we ask is RSVP, because Sue calls and reserves a table, and they always want to know how many people is going to come, so they'll know how many servers to have for us. If we have, like, say, 15 or less, I think generally they just use one server for a whole table, maybe two. I'm not sure. I don't keep track of it. But if you have 30 people coming, see what I'm getting at? You got to have more servers to make sure the food gets served promptly and hot and everything. So that's all we ask is just RSVP. You're going to be there, so we can reserve the table for a certain amount of people. But yeah, we do that, and we always have a good time, or I do. We sit and talk, and people give me their ideas, what they'd like to see, or something they didn't like, or they'll tell me some funny thing that they saw, or they'll show me a picture. We just have a good time. There's all kinds of people that show up, like Bill B. He's a community watch guy here. He tells me a few things that he sees. And gosh, I'm trying to think of some other people. I don't even remember them all. I don't want to see Bill B on here. He must be out eating. He might be working. Well, the person that called in about having a dog at a restaurant outside, you can see some of the comments there. Some people just don't like it. They just don't feel like dogs need to be where people eat. And some people, I'll tell you, one place they take a lot of dogs, and I think it depends on the people and how they actually care for the animal, is at the squares. They take their dogs to the square, and I've been up there, and I've seen people that have their little dog in their lap and whatever, and it doesn't bother anybody. But then you see people that show up there with this dog and a 50-foot leash on them windy things, whatever you call them, retractable leashes, and they let it just roam around out there, knowing that people are out there dancing, and they could trip over that leash, and they don't seem to care. So I think a lot of it just depends on the dog owner and their responsibility. Cheerleader says, older people drink too. She's responding to somebody. I haven't got it all yet. Laura, you're a friend of ours. I'm just going to be as honest with you as I could possibly be. I would not buy anything in Silver Lake right now. Go to Orange Blossom Gardens. There's another area. There's 3 areas there: Silver Lake, Orange Blossom Gardens, and something else. Country Club Hills. Orange Blossom Gardens, Country Club Hills. Go there. I wouldn't buy anything in Silver Lake. Dency Cole says she's on a tight budget. How Silver Lake? The problem with Silver Lake isn't Silver Lake. I'm just being honest with you, because I don't want somebody to come back and say, well, you said when I didn't say. Problem is, I don't know what their district rules are up there, but apparently Silver Lake area, the district rules are very, very laxed. That seems like that's where, well, matter of fact, I think it's on next Friday. I did news on it, or maybe it was this, I don't know. Anyway, child molesters and things like that move in up there. People 30-some years old with drug problems move in. It's always Silver Lake. You don't hear about it much at the other places, but it's always that area right there. So until they get that straightened out, if it was me, I think I would give it a second thought. But go look. I mean, maybe it's only one little area in Silver Lake. Because Silver Lake's a big area. But I'd go look, see what you think. But I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, yeah, I'd go. There's no problem. Well, there is problems there. When is the next Patreon lunch? She says. Let me see here. I got to bring it up bigger so I can see it. When is the next Patreon lunch? I am still holding on. I think I already took care of that. Sue takes care of that. She usually does one like every other month, not every month. So I don't know. I'd have to ask her. Next porch setting, that'd be a good question to ask her because I really don't know. She tells me when. She'll put a note in here. And then when I do a video or something like that, that's when I usually send that special video out to YouTube members only and Patreon members only. And when I get it, you get it. So that's how it works. Cam said probably too hot to have dogs out. I'll tell you, the truth is that in summer here a lot, it is too hot to have your dogs outside walking around. I've actually seen them here with dog booties on to keep from burning the soles of their feet on the asphalt when they're walking out here on the neighborhood streets. I mean, that's how hot it gets. And I kind of feel sorry for the animal. I know they got to go out. I know they got to walk. But boy, I just look at that sometimes when they stop and talk to somebody and that poor dog is prancing around on that hot pavement and they got nowhere to go. But there are a lot of dog parks, grassy areas for them to play and walk and stuff. And I would think that'd be much more comfortable for your dog there. Maybe. I don't know how you like dog parks. I've heard both good and bad about that. Some people love the dog parks. Other people don't like them because they're afraid that their dog's going to get into a fight or get some kind of a disease or something. I don't know. So there's good and bad about that too. You can't satisfy everybody 100% of the time. But if you have a dog and you want to go to restaurants outside, I can only tell you what I know. In most restaurants that have outside seatings, don't have a rule about having your pet out there other than they don't want you sitting with your dog in the seat. And I don't know if there's any other rule than that. And like I say, I'm just telling you what the rules are. Don't ask me if I agree with it because I'm not going to answer that. I'm not here to make enemies. $10 years? Is that when they do a census, KM? Maybe it is it. Oh. If I owe you any money, I don't know who you are.
Really? This is Skip from Naples calling you.
Hey, what's going on, man?
I called you a while back.
Yeah.
Before you went on your trip.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Doing great. Like my grandpa said, I woke up on the right side of the dirt.
There you go. That's the way to look at it. No, I was just thinking, I said, geez, I was just wondering if you ever missed driving a truck.
For the first couple of years that I retired, I'd say no, I don't. But as I get older, you can't help it. You get out there, and I'm still doing the old things that I always did. I like driving at night because of traffic problems and things. But when I drove a truck, it wasn't just the traffic. I drove at night because 99% of the scales were closed. And
what the funny thing is, it seems like once you get that driving the truck stuff in your system, it's hard to get rid of it. Yeah. My whole life, I used to do that too, but then I don't know if I told you how I got from driving trailer trucks to owning 3 car dealerships. I'll never know, but I did.
Yeah, you told us that story last time you called. I mean, it sounds like a fascinating story.
Yeah, it is. Well, I used to help my friend. He owned a small marina on the Connecticut River up in Massachusetts, and I used to help him on weekends selling boats. And he said, "Jesus, you're so good at that. Why don't you do something else? Get into sales." I said, "I can't. I don't do enough business." But I said, "Well, I don't know. I don't even know what I'd get into." And he said, "Why don't you try cars?" And, I thought about it for a while, and I said, I give it a shot, and I did. I got a job selling cars, and I just worked my way up into management. And next thing I knew, I owned a small car dealership, and then I owned another one, and then I bought a big one. So it's funny how things evolve. But that's how it all started.
Well,
And, now I'm retired, and
when
I used to
I
live on.
when I first started driving a truck, I had somebody ask me one time, said, because I've owned a few businesses in my life, everything from being a master cabinet builder to I worked in a glass factory. I worked at RCA, a picture tube company in Marion, and then I owned a lamp shop, shade shop factory, and then I owned a CBS stereo, and we sold that, and it ended up in a semi truck. And the guy said, "How did you go from one place to another like that?" I said, "I always felt like Forrest Gump." At the beginning of the movie, it shows that feather just kind of floating around. I always felt like I was that feather, and I just kind of floated around to whatever came along.
I know. It's funny how that, how things happen. And, it turned out good for me, and I enjoyed it. But I always missed driving the big rigs. I don't know. I just like driving them. And even when after I retired, I thought about maybe doing something, but then I didn't do it. I said, nah, I don't want to really do it. But I did go on a golf course, and I used to drive by this golf course every day on the way home, and I said, Jesus, I got to do something. I was bored after a year off. And I said, Jesus, I saw this guy driving this big tractor on the golf course. I said, Jesus, I'd love to do that. So I stopped in one day to see the superintendent. And I said, look, I don't want to do flowers. I don't want to plant stuff. I don't want to do any physical labor. I said, all I want to do is drive that big machine out there. And if you can use me, fine. If you can't, that's okay too. He says, you're hired. And I did it for 12 years.
Well, some things just fit in life.
Yeah.
And
I loved it. I used to go in at 5 a.m, but I was all done at 10 a.m. Then I had the rest of the day to myself, do whatever I wanted.
Yeah. And as an owner-operator, if you've ever done that, which I did, you could just kind of set your own days when you want to work.
Yeah.
Take a week off, work 7 days in a row, then take a week off. And you can do whatever you want to do. And I like that part of it.
Now, your live show on every Saturday night?
Right now, it's just kind of meanders. I just do it. Enough people send me an email saying, they just send me an email saying, when you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, when you're going to do it. And then when I feel like I got the extra time, then I just do it.
All right. Because I just happened to put it on and I saw it and I said, I think I'll give him a call.
Yeah. I thought about trying to pick a regular day or maybe 2 days a month or something to do it. I just haven't came out with a good day or time to do it. So.
Yeah, well, you got my number on the thing, don't you? If you ever get down in Naples, give me a call.
I was down your area not too long ago. I was, not at Naples, but I was pretty close. I was down at Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda area.
Yeah. At Punta Gorda, the village place, they're redoing the whole thing.
The Fisherman's Village?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was at. I went to my favorite place there at Harpoon Harry's.
Okay, they're redoing that whole thing, remodeling the whole place.
Good. Well, it looks like they could expand it quite a bit. I mean,
yeah, I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but that's I know they're redoing the whole thing.
You know what I really like about it, because here in the villages there is no good seafood. There's some seafood that's okay, but it's not what I would call good. Yeah. And when you go to Harpoon Harry's, if you go at the right time of day and the week and whatever, it's not unusual to see the fishing boats backed up to that restaurant and they're walking out on the boat to get today's catch to put on the menu.
Well, I'll tell you, down here in Naples, it's busy. And I was reading the paper the other night, and in the paper, I don't know how true this is, but they said in Collier County, there's 978 restaurants. And boy, if you can't find a restaurant you like down here, right, that's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, I was last time I was down there, we was on this one street. It's real popular at night for tourists. I want to say Second Street.
Oh, Fifth Avenue and Second Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
We was walking up and down that street, and you're right. It seemed like every other building was a restaurant.
Oh yeah, they're all over it, and they're all doing business. They're all doing very well.
Another place we go to when we're down there once in a while, I like to turn to the back there where there's a bar. I like the bar.
Yeah.
Called Tin City.
Yes. Oh yeah, 10 City. Yep.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed in years.
I like it.
Yeah. Next time you go, if you really want to, you get a nice view down there. The Ritz Carlton. You're not saying it, but if you ever want to just stop for a quick drink out in the bar area, it's right on the beach.
Okay.
And that's a nice spot to just, go for a drink or something, a little hors d'oeuvre or whatever.
Let me ask you, we went and had dinner on the beach somewhere, and I think the restaurant or something like that was called Turtle Beach.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, that got wiped out in a hurricane.
Oh, it did?
Oh, that Vanderbilt Beach, that's where it is. That's where it was.
Okay.
Vanderbilt Beach got destroyed.
Oh, that's too bad.
Really bad. They're still redoing it. But it's coming back. They got the beaches all back to normal and all that stuff. But there's some places that really got hammered.
Well, that's too bad because that was a nice place. I liked it.
Yeah, it'll be back. They're
Yeah.
gonna reopen. And that La Playa hotel down there. I don't know if you noticed that. That down a little further down that street.
Yeah.
That got wiped out. Man,
That's too bad.
it was unbelievable that after that hurricane. We took a ride down after it was all over, and I mean, it was cars on top of cars and out in the middle of the street, boats, big yachts sitting on the street. I mean, it was unbelievable.
So is Fort Myers, are they out of the water yet?
Oh no, it'll be years before that's back to normal.
Oh,
Fort
really?
Myers Beach. Fort
Wow.
Myers is all right, but Fort Myers Beach, that's what got destroyed.
I sure was a mess.
Oh, it'll be years before that's back to normal.
Now, question for you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine all the electrical vehicles coming down there to fix all that?
Yeah, let me tell you. Yeah, you mean, oh my God.
The government's pushing all this electric stuff. The Tesla company's trying to push electric semi-trucks, and I watch all
Let me
this as an
tell
old
you.
truck driver, and I say, for short runs, that might be all well and good, but what about UPS when I had to run? I had 34 hours to get from Indianapolis to Fontana, California. That truck can't do it.
Yeah. I seen 3 cars on Tamiami Trail, Teslas, burn up.
Really?
Not
Oh,
all at the same time, different times.
battery?
They just catch on fire. And the fire department has a terrible time putting them out. They have to use special stuff. They can't do it with water.
Hmm.
They have this foam stuff that they have to spray all over the road and everything.
Yeah. I think
The
that's it.
batteries,
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if it's the battery catching fire.
Oh yeah, electricity and water don't mix.
Well, there's a lawsuit now against all electric vehicles. I saw it on news earlier this morning, and I don't know who makes all of them, but I'm sure Tesla is one of them, that the people are saying that those electric cars are very easily stolen, easier than gasoline cars, and there's some kind of a lawsuit about it.
Yeah, they haven't got the infrastructure to handle this, electric cars. You know that. I mean, you go on YouTube and you watch in some place, there's different videos where guys have bought them and took trips with them, and they try to find these charging stations, and sometimes they can't. They just can't find them. There was one guy, he had 49 miles left on his charge and 94 miles to the next station. He said, what am I going to do now? You know?
Well, that's kind of his fault.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, he should
That's
have looked on his computer on that car that tells him where all the charging stations are at and kind of planned his route a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But,
Man, it's just like a trucker. You was a trucker. I mean, you knew where you was going to get your next fuel. You knew how far you could go, and you knew
That's
where he's
right.
going. Right. So
Yeah.
why would anybody wait till they only had 49 miles left and start looking?
I'm still the same way. I never let my car go below a half a tank.
I don't either. It's just a trucker habit. A half a tank in my motorhome.
Yeah. I hit a half a tank and I fill it up.
Yeah, same way in my motorhome. I'm a half a tank. I'm usually looking where we're gonna go.
That's right. Yep. Because I used to come down. I used to live on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. I used to live right on Nantucket Sound.
Yeah,
And when we used to come down, I coming down. We used to go back and forth. And I coming down and see half a tank of gas. I got to find a gas station, and fill it up.
yeah,
I'm not comfortable unless the tank is full.
yeah.
You never know what you're going to run into down the road.
No, I'm the same way when we have to go somewhere and meet somebody that's a far away. I'm usually the guy that's there really early because I allow a time to change a flat tire.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Truckers are just that way. We're the what if guys. What if this happens or what if that happens?
I know. What if? I know. You're right.
It's funny because when you were 16 years old, you'd jump into big jalopy that didn't run worth a damn and take it for a ride, wouldn't think twice about it.
In fact, I laugh. I think I can't get over lately the price of pickup trucks, what they're getting for them. I just can't believe that.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's unbelievable the price of these cars and trucks.
Yeah.
I can't. The dealers are just adding these. I can't believe people are paying it.
I can't believe that dealers legally are allowed to price gouge you.
They are. Nobody stop. It's up to. They put the price down if the person's willing to pay it. It's a whole different. This younger generation is totally different than our generation.
Just seems like to me there's laws. Every time there's a hurricane in here, and you live in Florida, you've heard it before too, that they always put out this thing and a phone number saying if there's any price gouging at the gas stations, let us know.
Oh yeah, right.
Is that the only time price gouging laws takes effect is for gas?
You're right.
So we have
you can't dicker on gas.
Yeah, but so we have COVID. So every dealer around here is allowed to add $10,000-$12,000 to a sticker price. That's not price gouging.
Well, I was buying my wife a car, and I went to this dealership. I won't say who it is, but I went to this local dealership, and they put an addendum sticker upgrade of $3,000. So I said to the salesman right off the bat, I said, "You don't expect me to deal from that figure?" He said, "Well, yeah." I said, "No, get rid of that figure, and then we'll start talking price. We'll deal from the MSRP down, not from the MSRP up."
Yeah.
I mean, he said, "Well, I can't do that." I said, "Then that's it." And I walked out. I got a call from him 2 days later, and he says, "Well, I talked to the manager, and they said they'll drop that addendum, the $3,000. I said, "Too late, pal. I bought a car."
Good for you. That's the way I feel about it. She went down to a couple of dealerships in Muncie, and she came home when we had to get a new car because the other car got totaled out by some lady running into it. And I didn't want to buy a car. It was right in the middle of COVID. I didn't want to buy a car then. I knew it was bad. But we had to. And so she's looking, and she come home, and she said, everybody said there's anywhere from a $3,000 to a $5,000 upcharge on any new car. And I said, what does that mean? She said, they told me that whatever the sticker price was, add $3,000 to $5,000 to it, and that'd be the price. I said, that's gouging. I said, so let's let them know, not only am I not buying, I will never come on their yard as long as I'm alive. I'll never buy anything there ever again.
But you know what happens? It's the younger generation today. They don't care how much they're buying, how much they're paying for a car, as long as they can afford the monthly payments. That's how they operate.
I was going to say, but that's a trap.
Everything around monthly payments.
Yeah, that's a trap.
And And yeah, but that's what they want. The young people don't care.
You know, the day's
as long as
gonna.
they can make the monthly payments, they're happy.
The day's coming though that they'll get older, and then they'll look back like we do and go, you
You're
know
right.
what? I got
yeah.
screwed. Hey, I got screwed when I was younger. I remember.
Yeah, I was laughing. I was telling one of my grandkids the other day. I said, you know, my first car was I bought a 1950 Chevy for $100. That was my first car. I felt like a king. I was so happy to have that car. You know, I mean, today it's thousands.
What was your first car that you can remember?
My what?
Your first car?
My first 1950 Chevy.
Close. Mine was a 1957 Chevy.
Mine was a 50. I'm 81 years old now.
I'm 33.
Yeah. No, I'm 81 and I just beat stage 4 cancer, and
Oh my God.
I'm doing great. I work out every day. I go to the gym every day. I do 200 push-ups a day.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel good, and it was a bad ride though, I'll tell you. It
Yeah.
was tough. 5 years I fought it.
You do 200 push-ups a day?
Yep, that's me.
Is that like in one time, or do you do like 50 in the morning?
No. I do 50 at a time,
Okay.
but I'll do it 4 times a day.
You're in better shape than I am. I do, let me think here. How many did I do today? None.
Well, I'll tell you, when they first found the cancer on me, I weighed 280 pounds, and I went all the way down to 125 pounds.
Wow.
I had 4 doctors tell me to go home and get my papers in order, that I have maybe 6 months to live. I said, "You're kidding." That was probably the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
Everybody knows they're going to die eventually, but when somebody tells you,
yeah,
it's a whole different ballgame. And I said, "Yeah, but I'm not ready to. I don't feel like I'm going to die. I'm sick." I mean, I was really sick. I was so sick, my family wanted to put me in hospice. And I said, "I'm not going to hospice." No. And I didn't. And I worked through it, and you just can't give up. You just got to keep going. And I remember the cancer people told me to go home, and there was no more they could do for me. And but then they called me back 2 weeks later, and they said, "Look, we're going to start doing this research thing, and see if you're interested in doing it." And I said, "Yeah, what the hell? I got nothing to lose." And I did it. It was a terrible ride, but it cured me. And they were shocked because they didn't think it would happen, but it was like one of the first time that's ever worked, that type of cancer that I had.
Well, cancer is one of them things that I don't know why, and all the times that they've been working with cancer and everything is why we haven't come further with a cure by now.
Oh yeah, it's and you know, the other thing too, you got to know your own body.
Right.
I mean, I was shaving one day, and I felt this little bump on the back of my neck. I said, "Jesus, what the hell is that?" I mean, it didn't hurt me or nothing, but I went to my doctor. He looked at it. He said, "I'm going to send you for a CAT scan." He went for a CAT scan. He got the report back. He said, "Well, to make sure, I'm going to send you for a biopsy." And that's when they found it. That definitely it's cancer.
Wow.
And that was the beginning. 5 years.
Well, I'm glad you got through it.
I did. I got through it, and I feel great right now.
Good.
So, and they're all shocked. All the doctors that told me I wasn't going to make it can't believe it.
Well, at your age and defeating cancer, I don't know if there's anything left in this world that you really want to do, but I guess I don't really have to tell you. If you're going to do it, you might as well get her done.
Yeah, and in fact, one of my doctors told me that the last PET scan that I had told me I got the organs of a 25-year-old. I says, that's cool.
Well, my wife tells me that. She says sometimes I should act my age. I'm not sure what age I am.
Well, hey, there was all, that's what I was telling her. I still go to cancer. They do, I have to go every month. They do blood work and I have to get a CAT scan once every 4 or 5 months. They want to make sure it doesn't come back. And I was telling the girls, they all look at me and they just say, Mike, I can't believe you're here. We never thought you were going to make it. And I said, my problem is I think like I'm still young until I look in the mirror. And I just, man, every time I look in the mirror, I get a shock.
I understand sometimes when I cough or sometimes when I sneeze or I'll say something a certain way, I hear my dad's voice.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But no, I got a lot to be thankful for, and I'm happy, and I'm going along strong, and I got 12 grandkids and 3 great grandkids, and one more on the way.
Well, good for you.
Yep. So anyway, I just want to chat with you for a few bits.
That's good. I'm glad you called.
Yeah, if you're ever down this way, like I say, look me up. Give me a call. We'll get together.
Yeah, I get down there once in a while, but I just never know. I'm the kind of guy, I don't plan much. I just get up one day and I might just yell, "So hey, get your stuff together. I want to take off," and I just take off.
Well, when we used to come down here back and forth on our way down, we used to stop at the villages all the time. And when I first stopped at the village, the only place they had was Spanish Springs.
That's been a long while ago.
Oh yeah, that's how long we've been. We were coming, and we kept saying, "Geez, I kind of like this place, kind of like it," but I don't know. Then we hesitated. To be honest with you, I didn't care for the outside of the villages because there was nothing there at that time. No stores, no nothing. I mean, it was just blah. And so we just decided not to, and we ended up buying down here, and we've been here ever since. Well, we've been here now full time 15 years, but
it's a nice area.
Back and forth.
It's a nice area. It's a pricey area right now.
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable how it's expanded up there. Jesus.
Well, I'm talking about your area. It's pricey. Oh. It's getting pricey down there.
Yeah, it is. I gotta say, it is.
I mean, it's pricey here too, but you're pricier. Is that such a word, pricier?
Pricier. It's definitely getting pricier.
Yeah, we're just a Kenworth community up here. You're a Peterbilt.
Oh, I'll tell you, if I had stayed on Cape Cod, I'd be dead now.
Well,
I know that for a fact. The people down at see, they're starting to make Naples like a medical destination now too. We got 5 hospitals down here.
Right, because of your growth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And doctors and that Arthrex is down here big time. They make all the surgical equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're down here big time.
Well, enjoy all that, because I'll tell you what, when you live in an area where the doctors are, you need more. You need more hospitals. You need more stuff, and you don't have them. I mean, we don't even have a trauma center here. If you have, we have to go to Ocala. That's what the helicopter's doing here and stuff. They take you to Ocala.
Yeah, well, in fact, what they've done down here now, NCA, Naples Community Hospital, they've put up all these emergency rooms all over Collier County. They're standalone emergency rooms where if you have a problem, instead of going to the hospital and waiting for hours, you can go to one of these places. They're big, huge buildings. And they also have doctors' offices right in the buildings. I mean, they've expanded unbelievable. They're all over the place. They're up in Bonita Springs and all over. So if you got to go to emergency room, boom, you go right to it and you're in.
Well, we have
No problem.
standalone emergency rooms, but at the hospital, the biggest complaint here at the Villages Hospital is the emergency room.
Really?
I don't know what's going on up there, but that's all I hear about. If I hear a complaint about the Villages Hospital, it generally is always about the emergency room.
Yeah,
So-
well, that's what it was down here. It used to be. Not anymore, because these other buildings that they put up really took the pressure off the hospitals. Now they have doctors and nurses and everything that work in these places all the time, and they're fully staffed. So you go in there and you got a problem, and then they have special accommodations. If they have to say you go in there and they have to ship it to the hospital, they have priority on rooms in the hospital. They have so many put aside for just them. So you never have to. I mean, I've seen where in season sometimes there'd be patients in the hallways. They're so full.
Yeah. And that's what I think's happening in our hospital. I think it's mostly snowbird time, not during the summer months, but when the snowbirds
Yeah,
are here,
right.
you know, the accidents they have, they have to wait. They take the more serious stuff first, and then if
Yeah.
you've got a broken finger, even though it does hurt, you may have to
Yeah.
wait.
No, it's really. I've seen a lot happen down here in the last 15 years. I'll tell you, it's unbelievable. Well, actually, I've owned the place for 25 years, but I've seen a lot of. This place is built up so much.
Yeah.
But they're way ahead of themselves. Like we have the biggest water purification systems, and the highways. They expanded all the roads down here. They're all 4, 5, 6 lane roads. I mean, they knew what was coming down the road.
See, we're not always prepared. They build the houses, they get them sold, people move in, and then they decide, oh, we got to do something with the roads.
Yeah, no. See, down here they're ahead of it. They did the roads and everything years ago. They expanded them, and they're all big, wide roads. So there's no real big traffic jams.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we do have traffic in season, but nothing that'll take you forever to get somewhere.
Right.
And the doctors, there's so many doctors down here now that there's no trouble getting to a doctor.
You guys got roundabouts yet?
No,
Okay.
no, we don't.
Just curious.
Nope.
I think in the state of Florida, I think we're roundabout king right here.
I know. I see it on TV. I know. I get. Well, we used to go to Europe a lot, and they got roundabouts all over Italy and that. And I drive anytime we go over there. I rent a car and do all my own driving. And I love the roundabout because if I miss a turn, I just go around the circle again until I come back to it.
See, as a trucker, you understand that.
Yeah. I mean, I love the roundabout, to tell you the truth.
No stopping, no waiting for the light to turn green.
Nope. And if you miss the turn, you just go around again.
Yeah. I've always been dumbfounded why anybody would want to stop in a roundabout and back up, or it just boggles my mind.
I know. Just keep going. Go right around the circle.
Yeah, you'll come back.
Yeah. Well, Skip, I kept you on the phone long enough.
All right, buddy.
I just wanted to say hi, and I love watching your show, and I love your newscasts, and I like to see that stuff. It seems like, you get older, you watch all these YouTube things.
Yeah.
I watch YouTube more now than I watch anything else.
Well, I do too. I just always looking for something different that somebody else ain't doing.
Yeah. In fact, I love to watch this young guy, this Justin trucking. Young guy. He has a family. He does a lot of trucking.
Not sure I've seen that one yet.
Oh yeah, just look them up. Just trucking. It goes under.
I've
that's
been
his,
watching the one, and I can't think of the name of that channel either, but I'm subscribed to it. So when they put a new one up, I get it. You probably seen it. Is that wrecking company that works in the Rocky Mountains, and he goes up there in the wintertime.
Oh yeah,
That-
yeah.
Man, that guy
I
puts
watched
in
that one.
some he puts in some good time up there. And when you look at his
Whoa.
equipment, people probably don't understand. We're talking records that guy cost $2 million.
Oh yeah, that big one he's got. That one big one he's got. Jesus.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that was.
All right, man. I got another call coming in from New York, so
Okay.
I'm probably gonna get
Be
my
good.
ass shoot
Have
out.
a good night.
All right, man. See ya.
Be good.
Hello. Go ahead.
Hey, Skip.
Yeah.
Hey, I watch you all the time on YouTube, and
Yeah.
I just figured I'd give you a call. I see you're here live.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Hey, I hear you talk all the time about the renters down in the villages.
Yeah.
We've been renting down in the villages now for 5 or 6 years. We really, really, really enjoy being down there all the time. But I'm listening to myself on your TV here. I'm kind of in lag listening to.
Yeah. You have to
Anyway.
you have to either turn it all the way down or shut it off.
Yeah, right. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
Let me put it on mute here. Anyway, we've been going down there quite a number of years. We've been renting and stuff, and I hear you always talking about the people from New York all the time.
Hey, I just read the news.
I want to tell you, we're from upstate, up around the Saratoga, New York area, and we love the villages. I mean, we just absolutely love it. And but we have over the years, the rents down there for rentals has gotten to be very, very expensive. So what we have done is we just recently went and bought a RV over in Recreation Plantation, and so we love it over there. I mean, it's not the villages, but Recreation Plantation has got a lot to offer. They've got 2 pools over there. They've got all kinds of activities. They probably got 1,000 units over there, and we love it.
Yeah, I got friends that well, he didn't come down last year because he had to have some heart surgery that took priority. But yeah, they come down to Plantation Recreation every winter. I had another friend that came down, just decided he didn't want to pull his RV around very much, and so he went over to Plantation Recreation and just rented a lot by the year, just left it over there. And I've done video over there, and you're exactly right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that place at all. And one of the little hidden gems that a lot of people don't know about is that the village's golf cart trail is just across the street.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely. And so what we did was here just this year when we were down there in March and April, we come back here at the beginning of May here back to New York, up around this, like I said, the Saratoga area. We just went and bought a fifth wheel down there, and like you said, all you got to do is go across Roland Acres Road, and you're on the other side of Roland Acres Road. You're in the villages. And then if you got a golf cart, you just go where you want to go. You go to the squares. You can go and eat. You can go shopping. The only thing you can't do is use the pools and use the rec centers.
Yeah. But I
and
like
the golf courses, of course.
I've had a lot of people on my RV channel will say, I understand you live in the villages and we'd like to check it out. And we got a such and such motorhome or fifth wheel or whatever. Is there any place we can stay at and come down there where we can check the place out and we can stay in our? I said, well, yeah, there's a lot of RV parks around us here. Most of them you have to have a reservation a year ahead of time.
Turn that down more.
But the plantation recreation, you may or may not be able to get in. But I always recommend plantation recreation because they got so many things over there to do.
Right. Well, like I said, like you said, that's kind of recreation plantation down there is kind of a diamond in the rough, so to speak, down there as far as in the villages area down there. And how we got going there was we had friends that lived there, and we used to go over there and go to the pool, and we would go over and play shuffleboard and that kind of thing. And we got so we really, really liked it. And the more we went there, the more we liked it. And so, like I said, this year we went and bought an RV over there, and now we're over there. Well, not full time, but 6 months of the year.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Hey, I want to tell you, we ran into Sue here last year up in was it Spanish Brownwood. It was during the Blueberry Festival here at Brownwood, and we were talking to Sue. And like I said, we watch your channel all the time. We really like it. The thing I like about you is that you kind of tell it the way it is. You don't sugarcoat it. You don't fluff it. You just kind of tell it the way it is. And I really, really, really appreciate that you do that.
Well, I don't see no reason for me to sugarcoat anything. I don't sell homes here. You know, the developer don't sponsor me for any reason whatsoever. So if somebody asks me a straight question about something, I just tell you how I see it and let it go at that.
Right. Okay, well, I'm going to let you go. I was sitting here watching your other caller here previous to me, and I said to my wife, geez, I'm going to give Skip a call, see if I can get a hold of him. And I was really, really, really surprised that I got through. So like I said, I appreciate talking to you. I love your channel, and keep doing what you do.
Okay, man, call back anytime you want. That's why I do this, for people like you to call to ask or say anything you want.
Okay, Skip. Good talking to you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Before we happen to get another call real quick, because I'm about ready to end this, there was a couple of questions up here. I think it was KM said something about the Patreon. She said, I thought it was $4.99. There's different levels on there, KM. I think $2 level's the cheapest. I can't go any cheaper than that. Patreon don't allow me. There's $2 level, $5 level, $10 level, $15 level, and a $25 level. That's limited memberships on a $25 level. There might be an open level on there now because somebody dropped out of that a while back. And but I find, and don't ask me why, I don't know why, I find that the ones that sign up for the higher levels are the ones that stay your members the longest. The ones that I don't want to make it sound nasty because I don't want to be sad, but the ones that sign up for the $2 levels are in for 1 month and they're out the next month. I don't understand that, but okay, it's your money. But yeah, the cheapest on Patreon is $2. Now, if you want to become a YouTube member, it's easier to join that. You don't have to go anywhere but right here. There's a join button below here somewhere, and that's it. I think the cheapest on YouTube is 99 cents. And I don't remember all the levels I put on there because I didn't expect anybody to go much above that anyway. I think there might be a $5 level, and there might be a $10 or $15 level, something like that. And it's just automatically charged to your charge card, and you can opt out anytime you want. And that's how you sponsor my channel. If you don't have a business and you'd like to sponsor my channel, that's the easiest way to do it. Or go down below this video, and there's a store down there. I got to put some more stuff in there. But there's t-shirts and coffee cups in there. If you buy that, that's another way of helping to sponsor this channel. So anyway, I hope I got that right. You said $4.99, I think. No, it's $5. $4.99. I don't know where that come from, unless I don't know. Where are we at? I thought I seen another question on here, and then we're going to end this, I think. I do appreciate everybody coming here, by the way. I really do. I see wrestlers on here. Hey, wrestler. I ain't seen you for a while, man. I figured out another way, wrestler, real quick, how to check the phone and everything, make sure it's working without calling somebody. So anyway, so I didn't need you at all. By the way, in case you don't know, I've made wrestler now. He is now the manager of my YouTube channel. You may say, well, what does that do? Well, it just helps me out a lot. If it wasn't for like the manager now of the channel, and especially the moderators, see, by having moderators on here, it gives me the freedom to not pay attention to this chat that much. I can read and answer if I can and things like that. And because moderators, they're making sure everything's okay. Car registration in Florida for any vehicle is expensive. Just the first time. After that, it's actually cheaper here than it was in Indiana. I think to register the car the very first time, it's a flat fee, a new registration fee of like $400, period. Yeah, that's kind of a shocker. I know. It kind of took me back too. So what? Yeah, new registration fee is $400. Good Lord. But then after the very next year, the license plate fee was actually cheaper here than it would have been in Indiana. I guess you have to take that also, if I think about it. I don't know what license plate fees would be in New York. I don't know what license plate fees would be in California. So you have to kind of compare that, I guess, to what you're used to. Bill B, never in my lifetime will I ever buy an electric vehicle. Well, I'm not going to say never, but I could see, I talked about this before. I could see an electric vehicle being used for your general, everyday running around crap in town. A nice electric vehicle to go grocery store shopping, to go here, to go. Just compare that to, say, your golf cart. You can see what you could do in your golf cart around a neighborhood like ours. If you had an electric vehicle, you could really do the same thing and not buy any gas or whatever. The problem that I see with electric cars driving across country is pretty obvious until they figure out a way where you can do more miles and everything. Forget this stuff of going long haul with truckers right now, because it ain't going to happen. It just ain't. Take it from me. It's not going to happen. Not now. The other problem is they got to figure out this thing about road tax. Electric vehicles ain't buying gas. Gasoline has road tax on it. That helps fix the chuck holes and stuff like that. I don't know how they're going to figure that out to make it fair for everybody. You're using their highway, you got to pay your fair share. You should. And electric vehicles ain't doing that. Unless there's some way, as you travel on these electric charging stations, do they pay a certain percentage of that back to the state? I don't know what the answer is there, but that's an issue I think is going to have to be taken care of, because as they sell more and more of these electric vehicles, these problems are going to come up. Bill B. We was talking about you a while ago, Bill. I'm not going to tell you what we said because you wasn't watching. You have to watch to know. I'm reading some of these comments. Some of them are comical. I can hear it when I read these things. I can hear the joking. I can hear the camaraderie. I love it. Kathy Donnellan says, talking about the options on electric cars and things. She said, that's cool. She says, I would be playing with it all the time, with all the options. Well, you do when you buy a new car. That's what a new car is all about, ain't it? You're playing with the toys. And on this one we got, I don't drive the car around here all that much. I just don't. Now, if we're traveling from one state to the next, I'm the guy that does 90% of all the driving. Yeah, it took me the little bit of the writing that I did in this car that Sue bought. I don't know how long it took me to figure out how to change the damn radio stations on this thing. Where you have satellite on it, you had XM on it, you had, I don't know, stuff. So you got to make sure you're on the, it's kind of like cable TV. You got to make sure your TV is set on the right channel before the cable works. And then when I got in the damn car, it says hello to me. And then my phone was ringing. It came on, the radio shut off, and then it came on, and I couldn't figure out how to disconnect the damn thing. It's just frustrating. So anyway, those are the problems I have with it. I generally listen to one radio station all the time. And I hate to have to go look for it. Well, we got no phone calls, and I don't really see any questions that's sticking out in my mind. We've been doing this for 1 hour and 52 minutes. It seems like any live, it always takes two. It always takes two. Well, that was unprofessional. I burped. So I think I'm going to get out of here. I'm just going to play a little thing, I think, thanking all my members, if I can find it. It's an older one. I've played it before. I haven't done a new one yet, and I know I probably got some new members, but I haven't really. I've been so busy doing so much stuff around here that I just haven't had a chance to do it. You realize I got to put up do three things for YouTube, Village's channel. I do one thing for the RV channel. I do news on Friday, which takes 3 days to do that. And then this live thing here, I just run out of time. I don't know what to tell you. I just run out of time. So we'll take the phone number down and see if I can find, where is this thing? This is so unprofessional. Huh. Maybe I'm on the wrong thing. Maybe I need to change things. Wrestler, where's my thank you thing for? Oh, I gotta go to W now. Yeah, here we go. Okay, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to play this little thing at the end of it, and I want to thank everybody for coming to the thing. I enjoyed it. If you'd like to see me do more of these, let me know. This is the third one, and it seems like it's worked out fairly well. And send me an email. Let me know. The top 10. What do you think of the top 10? The top 10 things we hated about the Villages. Monday is going to be the top 10 of the things we love about the Villages. So we're going to do both. And I'm figuring that's where all of our top 10s are going to be, no matter what they're about. What do we hate? Then the very next Monday be what do we love, and then we'll go that way. And so far we've been getting pretty good reaction to it, and as long as we do, we'll keep doing them. But I need your comments to let me know what you think. So with that being said, I'm gonna say thanks for everything, and we're gonna get on out of here. And I appreciate it, and I love talking to every one of you. Next time we do this, get that phone out and call. See ya.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raced our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care in the world. I was one rich little girl, daydreamer, kidnap me, take me back, all the way back to them days, running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot. No mistake ever kept me late. We spent summers catching fireflies and winters on our skates. One big smile across my face. We used to dance our way to church on Sundays. Mama set the pace. Daydreamer, kidnap me, take me back, all the way back to them days. Running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot. Back to the dressed in a gown, barefoot.